The United States has provided robots to Ukraine, which are already in the trenches and on the front line. Humanoid machines are right now helping the Ukrainian armed forces under fire. And this is not some Alyoshenka robot. We're talking about real combat machines. How does Ukraine plan to overcome the shortage of manpower? How much will it cost, and is it even realistic? Details that are truly impressive. Watch them in this episode. And before we start, please like the video and subscribe to the channel.
You've seen the movie Terminator, right? So basically, these are fully metal fighters, the kind that are already fighting against us on the front lines. So it's all like that movie Terminator from 1984. Now it has become reality. The first Terminators have arrived and are fighting against our soldiers. And for us, in the blood of business, honestly, I don't really understand. What are you talking about? Which Terminators? Who do you mean? Well, look it up on the internet, just regular ones like that. Don't you know that nowadays tens of thousands of humanoid robots are being produced in China and the United States? And they're in Ukraine now, or... Yes, the first two prototypes have already arrived in Ukraine and are already fighting against us.
To understand where this idea came from, it's worth looking at what Ukraine is already doing on the front lines. Ground robotic systems are nothing new here. From January to June 2026 alone, Ukrainian soldiers carried out more than 50,000 logistics and evacuation missions with them. A key role in the development of such technologies is played by the Brave One Defense Cluster, a state platform that brings together the military, developers, investors, and manufacturers so that new technologies reach the front lines as quickly as possible. Brave One has a solid foundation for this new step. More than 2,500 companies and over 5,000 developments are working within it. Ground systems, drones, artificial intelligence solutions, electronic warfare equipment.
The goal will be to accomplish tasks that, as we hope, the robot could perform autonomously using a prompt very similar to ChatGPT. You can simply describe the task at hand. If the robot has any questions, it will seek confirmation and then automatically carry out the tasks.
In 3 years of operation, the cluster has issued over 1,000 grants totaling nearly 6 billion hryvnias. And most importantly, Brave One already has a proven scenario for bringing technology to the front lines. This is exactly how the Interceptor drones started out as well. At first, there were simple and basic prototypes which were gradually improved for real combat conditions until they began to shoot down enemy Shaheds en masse. Now they want to apply the same approach to humanoids, starting with simple machines and gradually increasing their functionality step by step.
I think that the initial set of use cases will be similar to, let's create these things as ground drones. And just like with aerial drones, over time you first turn them into weapons so that they become the first line of defense, and then, when necessary, they actually become the first line of offense.
The details were shared by the head of Brave One, Andriy Hrytsenyuk, at the Brave One Advantage event, which took place at the beginning of July 2026. According to him, the main goal is the maximum robotization of the front line of combat and the reduction of risks for military personnel.
We see that such robots are valuable for strengthening the capabilities of our military. And that's why, of course, we are actively moving in this direction. Of course, at first these will be simpler robots, and then they will become more and more complex. But for us, the main thing, unlike civilian humanoid robots, is to create exactly those products that will help our military.
I would like to mention which technologies we are going to focus on as much as possible right now. Personally, for me, there are two top priority areas. Maximum robotization of the front line. That is, we need to think about how to use robotic technologies and sensors as much as possible on the front line, how to fight for the life of every one of our soldiers on the battlefield.
The humanoid competition is just a part of a much broader relaunch of the ground system. At the same time, the Ministry of Defense and Brave One announced an updated program with 53 new technological priorities and separate Brave competitions with funding of up to 100 to 150 million hryvnias per project for a specific technical task. But Ukraine is not starting from scratch in this area anymore. Back in the spring of 2026, two Phantom Mk1 humanoid robots from the American company Foundation Future Industries were delivered to the front. This happened with the support of the US government and the involvement of Ukrainian officials. The robots, about 180 centimeters tall and weighing up to 80 kilograms, were mainly used for logistics, transporting shells, ammunition, and supplies to positions under fire. Foundation CEO Sunkait Patak stated that Phantom has already demonstrated the ability to carry out tasks that previously put soldiers at risk.
Honestly, I see humanoids as another major step in reducing collateral damage in war. From the very beginning, we knew exactly that we needed to find a way to teach these robots how to use weapons. I believe this is the most powerful multifunctional tool in the world, and now it no longer necessarily has to be a 19-year-old guy. Now, it can be a robot.
But the test results revealed not only potential, but also serious limitations. The robot can carry no more than 20 kilograms of cargo, moves at a speed of only 6 kilometers per hour, lacks sufficient moisture protection, and cannot operate autonomously for long periods. There are also reports about its exposed mechanical components, which are easily damaged in combat conditions, frequent breakdowns, and problems with maintaining balance. Eric Trump, the son of the US president, has joined Foundation as an investor and strategic advisor. This has drawn criticism from some American politicians due to the government contracts the company receives. Foundation itself has already received research contracts from the US government totaling $24 million to study the potential use of robots in the Army, Navy, and Air Force. The company plans to deliver an upgraded version of the Phantom II to Ukraine as early as this year, featuring twice the payload capacity. This raises a logical question. Ground-based robotic systems on wheels or tracks have already been actively used in Ukraine for quite some time. So why complicate things by making robots that resemble humans? Wheeled and tracked platforms are cheaper, sturdier, and simpler to manufacture. They transport cargo well and move confidently across open terrain. But here lies their weakness. They don't handle stairs, doors, and narrow passages well. These are designed for humans, not machines. This is exactly where the humanoid gains an advantage. It has manipulator arms, it can open doors, climb stairs, enter a basement or a ruined building, pick up objects, or press a button. This makes it potentially useful in situations where a regular wheeled robot is simply powerless. That's why humanoids are unlikely to replace all ground platforms. Most likely, they will become a separate class of machines for specific tasks where form and the ability to work with hands are more important than payload capacity or off-road capability.
With Phantom, our first important product philosophy emerged. We want to create a robot that interacts with the world in the same way humans do. It is probably possible to create specialized equipment for different tasks that would be more efficient. But none of these hardware form factors could be generalized beyond the humanoid because the entire world is built around humans.
There are no official figures yet on how many humanoids and of what type are planned for purchase. The competition is still being prepared, but the scale of the idea can already be assessed indirectly. If robotization is extended to dozens of brigades, we're not talking about a few experimental models for display, but potentially thousands of machines of various purposes, from logistics to assault. Despite all the promise of humanoids, they definitely shouldn't be romanticized.
It's a double-edged sword. You want these technologies to be positive for humanity, but you can't pretend that they always will be. I think that realizing this is a good thing, not a bad one. Everything you create can be used for evil or it can be used for good. In fact, it all depends on people and the choices they make.
There are at least 5 problems that no one has solved yet. The first is the cost. A humanoid robot in production turns out to be much more expensive than a simple ground platform on wheels or tracks. The second problem is reliability. The more moving parts a machine has, the more points there are where something can break down right in the field. Another vulnerability is energy supply. A robot with legs and arms consumes a lot of energy, and the ability to quickly recharge or replace the battery while under fire is a separate engineering challenge. There is also the issue of training people. Even the most advanced robot is useless if the operator does not know how to control it. And perhaps the most pressing challenges have become cybersecurity and communication. For a military robot, it is critical who exactly is controlling it, how secure the channel is, and what will happen if this connection is suddenly lost. After all, a machine that loses control in the middle of battle can easily be intercepted or disabled by the enemy.
Even if you look at most of the autonomous weapons that the United States uses today, the majority of them have a human operator behind the scenes who monitors everything. Elements that can identify objects, plot routes and trajectories, and reach the destination in the most efficient way. But you still need a human to make the final decision on whether to fire the weapon or not. In all our discussions with the military, they were adamant that service members would approve every pull of the trigger, just like with a drone strike.
Therefore, in the near future, we should not expect robots to completely replace infantry soldiers. It is more realistic to talk about the gradual displacement of people from the most dangerous routine tasks such as delivery, evacuation, room inspection, or carrying loads. But what do all these plans actually mean for us? First and foremost, it is an attempt to save the lives of those who are now standing in the trenches. Every minute a soldier spends under fire while delivering ammunition, evacuating, or inspecting a dangerous building is a risk. And if a machine is able to take on at least part of these tasks, people have a better chance of surviving until rotation.
I remember an incident when we lost a sniper team while I was in Afghanistan and we conducted a 72-hour search. So hundreds of Marines went into all these contested areas to try to find them. A search like that, lasting so many hours, is the perfect deployment for a humanoid.
It's also an opportunity for the Ukrainian tech industry. Brave One has already demonstrated with drones that the country is capable of quickly turning military necessity into a working product. And now it is trying to repeat this path in robotics, a field where until now only the US and China have invested billions. For developers, this means new grants, new contracts, and direct access to the front lines through the Brave One Market platform, where the military can order solutions without years of bureaucracy. But at the same time, it's also about taxpayers' money and whether this new industry will justify the investments made in it. So far, we only have the first imperfect prototypes, heavy, slow, and prone to breaking down. That's why, in the near future, it's worth evaluating not the flashy presentations, but how well these machines can actually withstand the mud, cold, and harsh conditions at the front. For now, this is just the first step. The competition is still being prepared, but the direction is already clear. Ukraine, just like with drones, is trying to turn military necessity into a technology that will completely change the course of the war. Well, that's it for this episode. If you found this interesting, give us a like and subscribe to the channel and let us know in the comments what you think about what you've heard. Will humanoid robots really save the lives of Ukrainian soldiers? Or is it just an expensive toy that's far removed from the real front lines? See you in the next episode.